We got anybody online? I'm sorry.
Make the motion
Yep.
of the regular meeting minutes, September 14th.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve non-public meetings number 1 and 2 of September 14th.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion, changes, suggestions? All in favor?
Aye. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We got anybody online?
We do not.
All right, Jenna, welcome.
Hi.
We're doing.
So I don't have any like hard numbers for you. It took me a little bit to get in contact with Joe and he was out sick and getting the electrician, but I have a couple options I guess we can think about. One option would be a temporary fix or maybe just like a wood from hall fix, and the other one would be more permanent and it's so in your packet, I gave you two examples of something that could be very temporary. They're kind of like essentially construction lights. One being a wobble light where they don't tip over and it sits like 4 feet off the ground, and the other one would be kind of on a tripod, and it's like a kind of like a balloon. Like both pretty reasonably priced, maybe having a couple of those, we could dress them up with fabric for like events, but that would just be a temporary thing for just like hall use. Obviously, you know, they wouldn't stand up and last for years, but it could be something maybe even in the interim, if we don't want to spend the money right now. The second option, Joe met with an electrician and he's gonna have a proposal about for next week. Hold on.
Pick one.
You didn't want to
But,
click, did you?
Joe's gonna price out granite posts, kind of similar to the 2 granite posts in front, to have 3 along Prospect in the lawn, in this back parking lot. I'm sorry. 3 along this back Prospect in the lawn, have a couple on the side of the building, and then have something mounted on the garage barn facing the lawn. So we'll get the proposal for the actual lighting and the labor, but Joe will have to get the granite post quote, which is probably not gonna be cheap. And then I know he mentioned he hasn't gotten to you yet about a solar light for the back parking lot, but that's something that the DPW could do. They were thinking about maybe doing it with a solar light or 2 in that parking lot on post for the parking lot. I don't know. I mean, I think it really depends on cost and what you guys want to end up doing. I unfortunately don't have numbers for you, so obviously can't make an exact decision, but do you want to spend the money for long term, or do you just want a temporary fix until maybe we can add it to the budget in a couple of years? Or
I think you gotta find out what the cost factors is before you can make a
oh,
decision.
absolutely, yeah. I wasn't expecting anyone to make a decision. It was just kind of like, we have this option or this option. I'll come back with the numbers when I have those lights, like the wobble light. I think it's like $400 and something for one of them, and the balloon lights are like 300. So under 1,000 or probably over 1,000. But obviously I won't know until we get to go back from the electrician and get prices on the granite.
Where are the granite posts scheduled to be with regard to Prospect Street? In terms of, you mentioned along, are you literally talking along the street, or are you talking about this side?
On the lawn,
Where?
but like Carol, I don't know, probably just staggered like so many, take however long the street is and divide by 3 and kind of even them out as far as dispersion of light goes. I guess I really don't know what. I think it obviously has to what the lights are, what the lumens are, how far they project. Unfortunately, I really don't know any of that because I didn't be the electrician, nor would I probably understand if I did. But Joe just mentioned 3 along that road, right? I'm assuming probably, where that, where that pine tree is, probably like from that point on to the back parking lot, somewhere in that, or sorry, the back drive, somewhere along 3 and along that, I guess. Joe is going to talk to Eversource. He already talked to Eversource, the telephone pole on the corner of Prospect. They will install, I don't know if it's the conduit or the electrical, and then we have the headlight, the lamp LED, so we can also put a light on the telephone pole, kind of like over the lawn, but it's obviously not gonna light up the pole. More just be like safety for that corner, maybe get a little bit of light in that corner, but we have, right, we have the head already, the LED head.
Yep.
It would just cost, I think, Eversource charges $300 to mount the light.
I think it will light up a good portion of that lawn.
Yeah,
So I have one by Eileen Lounges, one there that lights up the front of my house.
so I mean, we can maybe start with that and kind of see how it goes too. I mean, I don't know how Ashley feels about the Swansea or Very Swansea Christmas. It does get dark. I honestly haven't been in a couple of years, so I don't really remember how dark it gets. I know it moves inside at a certain point, so I don't know if we want to buy one of these temporary things for that until we kind of figure out, or not, just start with Eversource and see how it goes, and then come back with a proposal from the electrician.
Yeah, it's pitch dark for that. I mean, it's dark.
By $50, it's pretty
Oh,
much.
oh, yeah.
I think we could check with the fire department and see if they already have portable lights, if they want to get another one, so they're the same. Or if Joe has an idea for what he needs for when they're working at night.
I did talk to him about those lights, and he said that they wouldn't hold up for what
What they do.
yeah, he said there's a reason why the industrial ones are hundreds, thousands of dollars versus $250 or whatever. So he definitely persuaded me not to say that we could share these because he didn't think they would hold up.
Yeah.
The wall light might, that is
Right.
an industrial, like more of a construction industrial.
Well, you also got Mrs. Carolikas next to Crescent Road. So she should be aware of all the plans.
Yeah, I mean, any of those lights, I mean, too, I think there wouldn't be as. I think Joe was talking about maybe like a 4-foot granite post, so they wouldn't be like super high, so. I think with her tree lighting and stuff, I don't think it would be an issue, because it's more.
Right.
No,
but
I know,
you still need to
Mhm.
look at it.
Okay.
I mentioned to Joe, I was up at New England College, and they had a walkway between the road and the college. And probably 10 feet of landscaping next to their building, and they had these lights that were shining at the building, and just the reflection off of the building was lighting up the walkway. So if we end up putting a walkway over here with those granite post lights that light up this big white building, I think the reflection would be fine between that and a street light on the corner.
Okay.
I don't know about this side, maybe the same idea, but I just hate putting those granite posts where people can hit them,
Oh,
Yeah.
Get hit by snow and ice falling off the roof.
But
Well,
it could
that's
be
true.
could be a rock with a light shining up on the big white building.
Yeah, even, I guess, I didn't even think about that, you putting any type of light, even if it's on a rock, the snow comes off of that, like, really bad. So.
I don't think you can put anything along the building on the side.
So I'm kind of like, I wish I had more for you, it's still kind of in the works. Yeah, I guess. It would be nice to have someone that knows lighting and can like really say like, oh, this will work, this won't, instead of like a trial and error, like, oh, so. I don't know, where did you talk to Joe about that lighting?
I sent him a picture.
Okay. I think anything that isn't temporary, probably not gonna happen until, unfortunately, until spring, because by the time the decision's made, the ground's gonna be, cold, probably gonna be frozen. Digging anything for, conduit and electrical lines, probably won't happen.
I think it goes fast, but so long as we start talking about it, it gets
Yeah,
done eventually.
yeah, like, I don't think, when I first talked about it with you guys, we were like, maybe hoping we could get it done before Swansea, Christmas. I really don't think that's realistic, but maybe the fire department doesn't have a light or.
I think the last couple of elections, at least they were renting lights. I don't know about the, you would know better, Sly, about the ones the fire department had, but there was some reason they weren't using them as much. I thought you'd send me that picture too, but I can't seem to find it.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
so. Not a good picture, but it's,
So if I understand you correctly, it sounds like putting a street light up is gonna happen regardless.
It's $300 to do it. We already own the LED light.
But why don't we do that?
right, just to see where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
See the kind of flag shining up on the building and then it reflects back.
So you want to move forward with the telephone pole, street light, and then come back with the proposal from the electrician?
That's my feeling.
We need a consensus.
Consensus.
Yeah.
we did. Just a quick update, I'm like so close to 19,500 right now. I basically did like 19,465 or something like that. We do not have a weekend rental until November 19th at this point. So I only have about like
You don't have any availability.
I'm sorry, I don't have any availability until November 19th for a weekend date. October, even the whole month with meetings and everything, I think I have 5 open days that nothing's happening at the hall.
How did your ad go for New Year's Eve? Did you have some bites?
I do have someone that contacted me about the date. I have not received any type of paperwork yet, but they did ask if it was available. So I don't quite think I'm gonna make the 20,000 mark because I really just don't have enough days unless I get like a couple full day rentals. If I just get a baby shower for, $90 or a baby shower for 180, I don't know if I'll make it, but still fingers crossed.
Okay, don't give up yet.
Yeah.
Tremendous accomplishment.
So, oh, and I did want to ask you, and you probably don't have an answer for me right now, but I know your wife works for the radio station, right? Keene has not had a bridal show in years, probably due to COVID, and then whoever was doing it might not have wanted to do it, but I was thinking about maybe trying to work with the radio station and do a bridal show here, and I just don't know. I went on the website today, and they really don't have much information as far as like who to contact or what. Just looking for maybe you knew, ask who is the person I can call and ask to talk to?
Yep, I'll get back to you tomorrow or Friday.
Okay,
Forget to send me an email.
all right, will do.
But yeah, I'll make sure you get a call. Those are incredibly challenging to put on, so
Yeah,
you may wish to delegate that to someone.
well, then I was kind of more hoping like, hey, I have the space, you can do it all radio station, but.
They don't, I'm trying to think of what they have done. They've done some functions like a indoor yard sale and events,
Well,
job
I
fairs.
think in 16, there was a bridal show in West Chesterfield at that Riverside Hotel. And I'm like 99% sure a radio station put it on, and I actually won my honeymoon. But it was small, like that little venue in that hotel was not that big. And so I mean, it's obviously, this isn't gonna be as big as the Best Western thing was, but we can get like, 25, 30 vendors in here.
Oh, it's a terrific idea. I'm not trying to bring it out of that parade. But how was that?
I said she just might regret it.
Yeah, but you could find some caterers that might be interested in doing that because that's their business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
If I at least get someone on board to help, especially too with the advertisement, because they were like sponsoring it.
Yeah.
They would do a lot of the advertising. Yeah, I'm also friends with Amy from Motivate,
Yeah,
AR. So I know she attends them, so maybe she can give me some insight or people to contact and things like that. Okay,
I know Jen Matthews, I don't know if she still does,
Yeah.
but she did.
yeah, but I met with her when we first redid the hall, and kind of let her know we're here and we're available.
I haven't heard her name in a couple of years.
She still does stuff, yeah. Okay,
Don't forget that email.
I will follow up.
Don't forget the other thing you had to ask.
Oh, yes, Swansea Preservation Society is having an event, kind of like a dedication, I guess, from when it's 30 years of when they started.
Since the building's been on the historic list.
No, I don't think it's since I think it's since the committee has started. I think the historical registry was like 94 or something. I don't know. They're having a celebration of some sort and they invited you. And she came in today and asked if you guys will be attending. So I said, going to the meeting, I'll try to find out.
Sly, I'm pretty sure it said yes, and Bill said he wasn't sure.
October 8th and the ceremony that I'll
You're busy.
have. Okay.
He's still not sure, so.
I'm not
Right
sure
now,
I'm getting, I may go down south to visit my family, so if a lot depends upon what goes on tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if,
Okay.
that's my only hesitation, otherwise I would commit to do it.
Okay. I'll let her know. Thank you.
She wants to know how long you want for your speech, the blocks of 1 hour or half an hour.
I'll let Sly take both hour and half hour, he can have it all. Good campaign opportunity, but thank you for asking. Anything else that you've forgotten that you'd like to tell us? That's good news on the lighting.
On the what?
On the lighting. There's, as Sly said, the ball's rolling. So
Mhm.
you got time to put something together to be in place in the spring.
Yeah. Okay, I'll work on that stuff and come back to you when I have more.
When we talk to Eversource, could we let them know that we want to light up the side of the building so they could wedge light or something so that it comes over this way? So it's not guarded, so it's just down.
Yeah, they can, yeah, we'll let them know what the purpose is.
I think Joe talked about it and explained what he was really looking for and.
I think they could wedge the base of it so that it's, instead of being like that, it's like that. Shouldn't be a problem.
Sounds like that's the message they were given, right?
Yeah,
Or will be.
I think he was very upfront on why he wanted to light. I'm just like, I think we need a light on this corner. But I would reiterate that.
Good.
Thanks, Jenna.
Thank you.
Have a nice ride home. Nice sleep.
I'm gonna hang up.
That's about all it'll be.
It's true. Gonna have to be baptized.
Right on schedule.
Kristen,
Oh, hi, Kristen.
Wow, did you look at the agenda that's shifted?
Yeah, so it was kind of last minute. I did send you an email. Obviously, you're welcome to
Probably.
but yeah, so for medical reasons, we're not talking about it.
Okay.
I don't know if you can decide if we're meeting next week or the following week, and then we can do that next if you want, set the October schedule, because I know you had a conflict with different date than I had for the off meeting, so I didn't know if you wanted to swap and meet next week and not the following week, or.
It's up to these guys. I'm sure they can handle it well without
Where's
Yeah, it
the
would be on the calendar.
where's the list, Mike?
page 7.
I did try to let you know, last minute, but
page 7.
have a good night, thank you.
It's on the right hand side. So you might be too far into it. Like, oh no, you're not far enough.
Yeah, so I didn't know if you wanted to swap and meet next week and not the 12th, or. think that would work fine. We don't have anything that we can't move around. Or if Bill wants 2 weeks off, he can do it. Keep the existing schedule.
Yeah, it's up to y'all. What happened for me was we had COVID, so we couldn't meet tonight in Hillsborough, so they rescheduled us for the 12th.
Right, so why don't we meet next week and that will go.
That's what I'm suggesting.
It's what I'm suggesting.
That one for
That's
everybody?
what I'm agreeing with.
Well, and I'm agreeing with you.
Excellent.
So what are you deciding?
So we're gonna
Uh,
meet on the 5th and not on the 12th.
Meet on the 5th and not on the 12th?
Yep.
And
You
then,
switched it and,
yeah, we just those two meetings.
okay. Got it.
Got that calendar.
I was just thinking my daughter's birthday party. You know, that-
You got it.
Okay, do we want to talk about the use of town property by the snow riders?
Yes, I think that's worked out well. No issues. They're good partner. Would ask for authorization to approve use of those 3 lots again.
Okay, we have that motion. Do we have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
I,
We could have at least talked about it for 30 seconds.
We can fill up the rest of the time with our meeting from this morning.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, does that need to be in non-public or can that be in public?
I don't see any reason to do it in non-public. Unless you do.
It involves a potential negotiation, that's the only.
But we don't have a dollar amount in mind, so I don't know that we're gonna hurt our chances. But basically, we just had an initial meeting with Rick Skorinko with NHDES, the drinking water division, about the West Swansea Water Company, just general, no real decision making or anything, talking about some of the funding opportunities. We had Ben Dryer from Underwood on there. Looks like the next possible opportunity would be like a study grant later this year. That would be then awarded probably early next year, and then something we could look at throughout the year for a possible, to have the system assessed. And I think, basically the same discussion we've been having about whether it's something the town or precinct or whatever wants to take over.
So it's the money for the feasibility of the engineering, or is it
Yes.
the grants for the whole thing?
No, well, at this point, it would be a good feasibility.
So it was up to 50,000, wasn't it? Was it? 50?
Oh, no, that's the whole thing.
Don't get that in the minutes.
But that would be something I think you'd have to get working on pretty quickly
Yes.
if it's worth pursuing. It's December 6th, I think.
Yep. Yeah. Ben and Sarah could work on that.
And he also, Rick, identified a significant number of potential funding sources that we would have to go to, but the study would be the trigger.
And he spoke very highly of Don and the water committee when he worked with them. On the last iteration 5-6 years ago, so. Let Don know.
Yeah, you did.
There should be records still of that
Oh, yeah.
conversation at the state level, because
Yep.
they did an engineering study.
Yep.
So you should have that.
Yes, we do.
Just update it, it'd be cheaper than doing a fresh one.
Right.
Another component that I thought was interesting was the groundwater protection radius. And I'm hopeful that we will look into that, because one thing we do have is water. And I don't think we should just look at it from that particular perspective, but the other aquifers that we have in town. Because there are going to be people come calling.
The planning board has been addressing that, you with Sarah, they've been addressing, and the planning board actually came up with new criteria to add to the existing zoning ordinance. Is that going to be written up as a new zoning ordinance, those additional language, or is that just site plan review language?
Yeah, I'm not positive. I get lost in the minutia of some of those, so I'm not positive which category it was in. I think it might have just been something in site plan
It
review.
might just be site plan review regulations, but
Yeah.
it would mean that the planning board would have a more detailed instruction set, if you will, for the members to, when they're looking at a business coming into town and how it would affect the aquifer, they would have a list of additional items to consider for that purpose, because a lot of those people are new to planning board and I don't think they're as familiar with the ordinance as, say, Scott is. You know, details of the ordinances that we have. So this is going to be helpful, I think, to the younger members of the planning board. And I think the Conservation Commission was okay with what that language was added. They had a lot of concerns protecting the aquifer, but I think they're okay with the new language.
Well, I think what we found out with the Water Protection Committee, you know, the ordinance that we put together is the entire town is sitting on an aquifer. So,
That's right. So it's hard.
well, it's not hard.
I mean,
It's impossible if
It's
we want to have any growth.
yeah, exactly. Good enough. I mean, they're looking at hazardous materials, you know, things that would really damage, eventually get into the aquifer and damage the water system. You know, nobody wants that, whether you're a private well owner or you're a business. So, things like that. I mean, I just want to prevent everything. I think Scott had that in mind when he created those, it's like 6 additional items, and they're not really all that strict.
Seems like something everyone could live with, so that's progress, right?
Well, his case, he was recommending a 400-foot radius.
Yeah, these walls over here require 600 foot.
Okay,
Oh, geez, for the water company.
do we have that codified?
Well, we have Route 10 in the middle of that, or not the middle, but close to it, so it's difficult. There's a couple businesses right on California Street that are in there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. All right, what else have we got? 2 minutes.
And
Here's my clock.
Do we have any old business? We need to-
I don't think so.
Did you have any on the agenda?
Just wanted to go and go. You might have seen it in the town hall, we've had ladies there from DSNA, the new financial software. It's going pretty smoothly and it's gonna be really, really great for budget development. It's gonna save a lot of time for department heads with bills and not gonna have to drive in physical bills that they approve back to town hall, picking them up. It's just all gonna be electronic, it's cloud-based. It's gonna be a really, really big improvement when you're looking for information or, you know, okay, we're looking at a line item in a meeting, you know, what did we spend on asphalt last year? We can just click of a finger, pull up a report, and it's gonna be really very nice. So I know it's not the sexiest project, but it's gonna be really nice. And I think it's gonna take a lot of the strain off the finance department, and also the department heads. So great.
Teresa seemed very enthused.
Is it a new numbering system or were they able to incorporate our own?
They basically duplicated 4 of the numbers, but basically the same system.
Can I quickly ask you why I keep getting the timesheet has been changed and needs to be resubmitted?
I think it has to do with the pay codes. Hopefully that'll stop, but it's,
Is that ended now?
I think it's gonna end.
We have 2 or 3.
It's just, yeah, it's not changing the hours, it's the pay codes.
Okay, but I keep getting personal email telling me to go back and resubmit it, and then when I try to do that, it doesn't allow me to do it, so it's a little bit confusing.
Do we have anybody
Hopefully we'll
online?
be past that. No, we do.
All right, so
Okay,
we'll open the public hearing pursuant to RSA 31:95-B to hear comment and discuss the acceptance and expenditure of unanticipated funds as designated in A, B, and C. Anybody have any comments?
Right, John, what do you got?
If they could state their name.
Oh, that's right, for the record speak, yeah. All right, I'll close the public hearing. Do we meet again or we take a vote or
No,
whatever?
you just accept it.
We just accepted it.
I'll make the motion to accept and expend unanticipated funds. $306,254.25. From the Northern Borders Regional Commission for Infrastructure Improvements on California and or North Winchester Streets.
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Move to accept and expend unanticipated funds in the amount of $169,354.67 from the state of New Hampshire for additional highway block funding
second,
grants.
All in favor? Aye.
Move to accept and expend unanticipated funds in the amount of $261,976 from the state of New Hampshire for the repair, maintenance, and construction of municipally owned bridges.
second,
All in favor?
I,
Just for your reference for that last one, we're gonna plan to have an article to put some of that into the town bridge capital reserve fund and then some of it into the covered bridge capital reserve fund, since we don't really have. Maybe we could have put some of it towards the painting, but the Thompson covered bridge painting, but I think we're just gonna, so we're gonna have more warrant article, but
That'll help Steve out.
it failed out the CIP to some degree, so yeah, it's definitely helpful.
Anything else?
I think so.
Motion to.
Before you do, just a quick question. Did you have a chance to check with mutual aid with regard to the unanswered calls? And then second, have a chance to reach out to the Smith with regard to doing the touch-ups for the building before it gets out of here, this building.
Those discussions with the Smiths were unproductive. I thought I couldn't figure out which side he was looking at, so we're pursuing other opportunities, I guess, but I don't, probably not gonna happen this year, I don't think, right?
Maybe after the light gets installed.
He stopped answering. I mean, I think it might be just something we have DPW do those little touch-up spots. And no, I did not follow up on that other item, so I will apologize.
Motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with us.